Lady in red is dancing with me.
Yeah, what is that?
Welcome back to How to Cake It. I'm Yolanda and it's springtime, so I caked a ladybug.
A ladybug.
Not just any bug. This bug is a lady. To make my lady in red, my ladybug cake, I baked 9 pounds of vanilla batter dyed red and chocolate batter dyed black. That's not 9 pounds of each, 9 pounds in total, and I marbled them together in my pans. If you want exact instructions on how I did this, you can head to my blog. To start making this cake, I first level my sphere pans while the cakes are still in the pan. I have a 9-inch half sphere and a 4-inch half sphere, and then I also have one 9-inch round pan. I level that as well. I place my sphere flat side down now that it's out of the pan, and I actually want to just trim off a bit of the bottom of that sphere. It just wasn't good enough. She's a lady. So I trim off about a 1/2 inch.
Was that cake not ladylike?
No, that part of the cake was not ladylike. It was crumbling. Ladies don't crumble.
That's right.
Ladies do not crumble. Write it down. Now I'm going to layer my sphere cake into 3 layers. So this layered sphere on top of my 9-inch round cake is going to be the body of the ladybug. And make sure to save all of the humps that you cut off. I'm going to use these humps, my humps.
Oh, there she says lady. She says my lovely lady lump.
My humps, my lovely lady lumps. So I'm gonna use the lovely lady lumps to build her head. I cut them in half so they're all half moons. I stack them up, I hold it against the body, and I start carving her face. It was more complicated than it sounds, and we'll probably only show you like 10 seconds of footage, but you just want her face to be the right size for her body, you know?
It actually sounds very morbid. I began carving her face.
Yes, I carved her face. I used the bowl upside down like a cookie cutter to carve out the back of her face and make sure it aligned with the body. With my tiny little 4-inch sphere pan, I just need to cut a flat side. How do I say this? Here's the sphere, it's like a dome. I need to cut one part of it flat because this is going to become her matching handbag. The bag matches her body. Like, who has that? Now I'm happy with her body, her head, her handbag. What I need to do is lift all the layers off of each other, lay them all out, and simple syrup. I told Sir Squeeze, behave because she's a lady.
Was he getting a little fresh?
Yeah, he's just, he thinks he's it. You know what I'm saying?
Whispering in her ear.
I love you. Now that the simple syrup has soaked into all of my layers, it's time to fill and stack these cakes. So for her body, again, it's all the layers of the sphere on top of that one 9-inch round layer, and I'm layering them with Italian meringue buttercream. Then for her face, same idea, layer it all up, and the handbag doesn't require any layering. It's time to crumb, code, and chill.
Oh, Beyonce has songs with ladies. What's the...
All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies.
Put your hands up.
No, not hands. Put your antenna up. Yeah, okay, good. Up in the park, just woke up, do my only thing. Yes. My crumb coat is chilled, and before I move on and ice these cakes, I want to put them onto a black base. I placed my cakes on top, and now I can ice. Yes, ice, ice, baby. That's excellent! Ice, ice, lady. Do, 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 do. Just a reminder, we will all be at SoFlo Cake and Candy Expo in Miami from April 26th to 28th. And on the 26th, I'll be teaching my very first in real life cake class. So click the link below if you're interested. I'm going to cover 2 of my cakes with black fondant. These parts are the body and the head. I drape it over the body and quickly smooth it. I was really bothered by my black fondant that day because it was a little bit dry. And she's a lady. She's not showing anyone her wrinkles.
No.
But because I knew I would cover the black fondant, I just smoothed it out as best as I could, and I will deal with those wrinkles after. I will help a lady out with her wrinkles, and then I covered her face. Luckily, no wrinkles. She's a lady.
I feel like ladies are proud of their wrinkles, yo.
You're right. You're right, but she's going out. She wants to look good. You understand? Now I'm gonna cover her handbag with some red fondant. It's so small. I actually rolled a little piece of red fondant, covered the back of a handbag, trimmed it, and then rolled another little piece and covered the front of the handbag, which is sort of the domed part, and trimmed it. So I need to deal with the wrinkles on her body. I am gonna turn into the seam hider. So I mixed some fondant paste, black fondant, just like I covered her with a little bit of food grade alcohol, and then use a small spatula and sort of ice that around the cake into the wrinkles. It's a very, very thin layer. You just wanna fill in the wrinkles.
Only that
You
fondant
know?
paste existed for us.
Yeah, I haven't tried fondant paste on my face. I don't think I will. Now I need to combine her body and her face to make one ladybug. And for this, I've cut out a piece of foam board that is the shape of both. So it's kind of like a number 8 with a smaller top, if you know what I mean. So I stick the body on the board first, and then I use a little bit of royal icing at the front of the body where the face will come up to meet it, and I glue it together. I know, you're probably thinking, ladybugs aren't black, what is she doing? I know. So I'm gonna roll out some red fondant. I'm gonna roll out my wings one at a time. And then I'm going to use an upside down pizza pan, lay it on, and just cut the curve. It's like a 16-inch round pan. Cut the curve of the wing here. Then what I need to do is wet the surface of her body with just a bit of water and a paintbrush. And now I'm gonna lay that wing on. And essentially I want her wings to look like they're open. So from the back of her head, they're gonna be joined, but when it gets to the back of her body, they're gonna open up a bit. So that's why I carved that round side.
Nice.
Now I'm gonna smooth this fondant up against the cake and then trim the excess away from the bottom and at the back of her head. I had trouble with the wings, I had to do it twice.
Oh my goodness.
Fondant was dry. It was a dry fondant day.
I was gonna say, you have a lot of dry fondant.
Dried fondant. Cody told me a fact about ladybugs. Each spot represents a year of their life. They get a new spot every year.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I don't know, Cody. You need to fact check
Is
that
it
for
years
sure.
or is it weeks?
Maybe it's days.
I'm fact checking.
Okay.
It's fact checking. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna roll out some more fondant for the details on my cake. So I'm gonna roll out a little bit of white, some black, and some red to help me decorate this lady. So I'm going to cut out her eyes. For her eyes, I'm using oval cutters. I'll cut out like her eyeballs out of white, her pupils out of some black, and I'm just using a round piping tip, her catch light, and then her eyelids, I'm cutting ovals out of black fondant, and then I'm using that another oval cutter to just cut away part of the oval, because she's like a sly lady. She's not like, she's like, you know I'm a lady.
Just clarify again the differences.
Yes,
there.
ladies don't do this. They do this. I mean, she is more of a lady than me. But I've been told I'm a queen.
Ooh, really?
That's right.
You are wearing it on your t-shirt.
I am. I'm a cake queen. Serving you cake queen realness. Oh yes, I wear my crown on my t-shirt. This is this month's Cake Tea Club tea for April. You can sign up to get this tea now by clicking the link below. Plus, you get a mystery free gift. I should have my scepter.
Yes, you should.
Like, honestly. And I'm cutting her lips out of some red fondant, making sure to make the indent in the middle. She's got a sly smile. You know what I'm saying?
Sly eyes and sly smile.
Sly smile. She knows she's a lady.
So what are the two types of smiles?
She's not like, she's not showing teeth. She's like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was noticing something about the lady though. So the black fondant on her face was just a little dull, you know?
Yeah.
So what I did is I mixed some black paint with black food coloring, food grade alcohol, and I painted her face. I painted her face black. So it was like, now she's a lady. It's like she moisturized, you know?
Yes, I was gonna say it.
Black tinted moisturizer
Yes.
for the Ladybug's face. And I'm gonna use the opportunity while this moisturizer is still wet, I'm going to glue on her eyes and her lips. The facts are in, ladies and gentlemen. We interrupt this How to Cake It episode for a Ladybug fact. Cody?
Yes, you should know when to admit that you are wrong, and quite indeed, I am incorrect with my original statement.
Excellent.
Oh.
Their spots do not represent their age, and their spots are a defense mechanism because ladies know how to protect themselves.
Woo!
Yes,
Yes.
and Cody also admitted he was wrong. Thank you, Cody.
You're welcome. I am Cody Clay here at Queen's Park. We'll return later.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's get back to our regular programming. So now from my black fondant that I've rolled out, I'm gonna use 3 different size circle cutters to cut out her spots, which do not represent her age. I'm gonna add these dots to both wings, just a little bit of clear piping gel painted on the back, and then I'm going to glue them on in a random pattern. This is always very hard for me.
Is that
I
you being
find
random?
like yeah, this is me being random. They naturally, my hands just wanna do this. You know what I'm saying? I have to fight it. You know what she needs? I don't even know how I forgot this. She's going to the salon and she's getting her lash extensions. Because she's a lady. So I rolled out some cords of black fondant. I glued them to her eyelid and just out for that cat. It's not a cat's eye because she's a ladybug, but just they're everything. They're just perfectly so she can flutter her lashes. Like when those other bugs that aren't ladies give her stares, she's just like, please, have you seen my bag?
That matches my body.
That matches my body. Where's your bag? But she doesn't say those things because she's a lady.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? She just has to look at you and she puts you in your place. This lady needs some shoes.
All of her 6 feet have shoes?
Yes. Oh yes. They're Manolo bug nip originals. They were custom made for her. What I've done is I've rolled 6 equal balls of black fondant and then I sort of tapered them a bit, almost like a teardrop, if you will. I need to make an indent into these shoes so later on they'll fit perfectly on her feet. Okay, so I'm just gonna use 1 coat hook and indent into the thinner part of each of the 6 shoes. Now it's time to bejewel and bedazzle her shoes because she's a lady. For this, I'm using dragees. I glue a big dragee to the center of each shoe. I actually used a ball tool just to indent the fondant a tiny bit. Here's the real tea. Dragees drive me crazy. Dragees be bugging because when they drop, they bounce and they're everywhere. Ask Connie. Ask Connie. Who's Connie? Don't ask Connie. Ask Cody. I find dragees everywhere, in every corner, behind the sink. They drive me crazy. Now, the part of the ladybug where her wings meet the back of her head is really bothering me. And she's a lady and it's Sunday. So you know she's gonna have something in her hair. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to create a hot pink headband that matches the beads on her shoes. Right. So I'm rolling out some hot pink fondant, cutting some strips, folding them over, and then gluing them to her neck. And then I created a bow by cutting out some smaller bands, looping them together, and then looping another. Why am I doing this when there's footage? Just, I never learned this. So now the bow is being glued to her head, a little bit of piping gel, and in order to keep those loops open while they set in place, I've just folded up some paper towel and inserted it through the loops so they'll dry without collapsing. I can't have this lady wearing a floppy bow. No, she wouldn't leave her house.
No.
She would never.
No floppy bows.
You know what else ladies do, Jocelyn? They bake in the springtime.
Yes, they do.
And when a lady needs help baking in the springtime, when she needs inspiration,
What does she do?
she buys the How to Cake It Springtime Treats ebook.
That's correct.
She doesn't hesitate. She's a lady. You at home with your 2 hands can use this ebook. You don't need 6 feet like a ladybug. I need to make another crucial ladybug part, which is her antenna. So for this, I'm using some floral wire. My wire is green, so the first thing I want to do is cover it in black fondant. I just wipe on a little bit of clear piping gel, roll out my black fondant really thin, wrap it around, trim it, and just sort of roll it over the wire so that they're even. Now I'm gonna roll 2 evenly sized little black fondant balls to go on top. And I'm gonna let them dry separately, but for now I will use the wire to just poke a little pilot hole so I know they'll fit on later without cracking. While I'm working with wire and fondant, I'm gonna go ahead and make her bag handle. So the same way I made the antenna, except a longer piece of wire, cover it in black fondant, and then I'm just gonna bend it over. You can use anything that helps you, a circle cutter, a glass, and bend it. I need to move on to the bag. So for the bag, I need to create a zipper so she can get in. So I have a zipper mold. I'm gonna use it now. I'm pressing in some yellow gum paste into this mold. Then I take the zipper out. I carefully cut away any excess gum paste so I have a nice clean zipper. And then I paint it gold.
Of course.
With clear food grade alcohol, and I paint the whole zipper, and I'm just gonna put it to the side for now so that that gold dries. While the gold is drying, I need to cut the dots for the bag. The circle cutters I used for her body are too big for the bag, so I'm gonna use 3 different size round piping tips. So I measure the bag, trim the zipper where I wanna trim it. I glue the zipper to the top of the bag, and I make sure to cut off the bottom part of the zipper. You know how there's the part that like holds it together? So I cut that off and added it at the end. So now I have this perfect zipper for my bag. I glue on the spots in a random pattern, and now I can take that handle and insert it just behind the zipper. I saved it.
The bag?
Yeah. Did you see it?
No.
I am going out tonight. Girl, where are you going? I'm going to the parquet with my bag. You can see why the other bugs are jealous.
They are very jealous.
You could ants don't have this, please. You know what they have? Numbers. That's it. So I racked my brain to think about how to lift this lady. I racked my brain, and then I went to a local craft store, and they had these wood sort of discs or wood plates. And then I started thinking, how am I gonna support her head? So then I found these other circular discs. I also went to a hardware store because I had an idea of using handles for her legs. You know how they have those like curved handles? Every black handle they had was like square. I'm like, this doesn't look like ladybug legs. And I was about to give up, and then I saw coat hooks.
Aha.
Now I can use this beauty to raise up my ladybug. The first thing I need to do is put her feet underneath the stand, put her shoes on, and now I'm just gonna carefully lift this cake, put it on top of the stand. Then I'm gonna add her antenna. I glossed her lips with a bit of piping gel. And hold up, she needs some blush. So I beat her face with blush. Pink luster dust, obviously. She is a lady. Lady in red
It's a long note.
is dancing with me. Cheek to cheek. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. I'm crazy for this little lady. And then of course, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, put your antenna up. Thank you so much for watching. Head over to How to Cake It Step by Step and check out our Flower Power Cake compilation.
You really you own that like a lady.
It's flower power. Ladies have flower power.